Guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're reviewing the all-new 2025 Audi A3.
And a big thanks to Andre and the rest of the management and staff here at Audi of Wesley Chapel for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below, and if looking for a new premium car or SUV in the Wesley Chapel, Tampa Bay area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out, and ask for Andre.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the A3 has been Audi's subcompact executive sedan since 1996. The fourth generation A3 that you see here has been with us since 2020, with a facelift this year for 2025, featuring an updated grille, bumpers, lights, wheels, and rear diffuser. Inside the A3 gets new lighting elements and trim pieces, and finally, like its sportier S3 sibling, the 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder for the A3 gets an additional 15 pound-feet of torque for 2025, now cranking out 201 horsepower, 236 pound-feet of torque, with standard all-wheel drive and a base price of $38,200. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So as you see, we get the new LED daytime running lights, black headlight housing, LED headlamps, no fog lights, but we have an additional light underneath the headlight housing, which I guess functions as a front fog light. We get full front parking sensing, smoked Audi ring, which is part of the premium package, or one of the packages. We'll check it out in the window sticker. Not a standard feature, but looks really good here. With the updated grille for 2025, updated lower rear diffuser or front diffuser, it's a really good looking front end styling. The wheel and tire setup with the Premium Plus package, we get these gunmetal gray and silver contrasted 18-inch rims wrapped in Goodyear Eagle Sport all-season tires. Dimensions are 225/40 R18. The 40 sidewall tires are a little bit thicker than the 35s we had in the S3, and the S3 had excellent ride quality. Here, with the 40 sidewalls, I expect this A3 to have a little bit better of ride quality. But we also have a sports suspension here as part of one of the packages that we'll check out on the window sticker. We'll see if the sports suspension feels a little bit stiffer than the S3, but I personally don't expect it to. I like the body color wheel well area with an additional side sensor. No 360-degree camera on this A3, even with the Premium Plus package, but with the front and rear parking sensing and side sensors, it allows us to have guidance lines and trajectory, even for the parking sensor screen, similar to what you would get with a 360. Body color mirrors, LED turn signals on them, blind spot monitoring on the inside part of the mirror. We get 4-door smart access, not as aggressive of a rocker panel side skirt area as the S3 wouldn't be expected with this lower, more elegant, comfort-oriented A3. We get a pretty large moonroof shark fin style antenna. The tints look really good. Blacked out pillars that say Audi A3 TFSI Quattro on them. Same rear wheel and tire setup, the only difference is a smaller brake caliper, additional rear side sensor, LED taillights just like on the S3, turn signals and reverse lights, black A3 badge. Shout out Audi of Wesley Chapel for helping make this review possible. Quattro on the right side, smoked gray Audi rings. Again, not a standard feature, but part of one of the packages on this sedan. We get rear parking sensing, updated rear diffuser. Hopefully you guys can pick up the exhaust tip in the lower left corner. And speaking of the exhaust tip, let's fire up this more powerful 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine sold by Audi for the 2025 A3. And it sounds okay, cranking out a decent amount of power. Now at 201 horsepower, 236 pound-feet of torque. Made it to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission, sending the power to all 4 wheels. You can expect 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds. Car and Driver tested the previous model year, which had 201 horsepower, 221 pound-feet of torque, and that did 60 in 6 seconds. So now with an additional 15 pound-feet of torque and no other serious changes for them power plant-wise, it's not necessarily unrealistic to expect a sub 6 seconds 0 to 60 considering the previous model was at exactly 6. But that's about it for the inside and outside of this 2025 A3. Let's take a step inside and see what we get with probably the nicest all-wheel drive luxury sedan under the $40,000 base price point. Up top, soft touch materials, aluminum underneath it, aluminum door handle, lock and unlock, 2-person memory seats, 4-window auto-one touch, power folding mirrors, and a nice leather area for the armrest with leather stitching in the center. We get the Sonos premium audio system, 2 speakers on the door panel, hydraulic chute for the trunk, hard plastic for the lower door panel area to be expected, and a very large amount of storage space. We get an aluminum illuminated nameplate as we step inside, Audi's leather seats with white contrast stitching, and also two-tone color with some suede Alcantara on the outsides. I wish the suede Alcantara also continued for the middle portion, but it still looks really premium. Nice soft leather. We don't get adjustable thigh support like we did in the S3 we just reviewed in this channel, but you can still recline, drop, lift, and slide with 4-zone lumbar control. Taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start, stop, and everything fires right to life. So before we continue with this interior, I'm going to show you guys the window sticker here first on this 2025 A3 Quattro. So $38,200 for the base price, $595 for the black metallic paint color, $2,600 for the Premium Plus package. Pause, take a look and see everything that comes equipped with it. $1,750 for the black optic package, $1,600 for the tech package, which gives us this larger 12.3-inch screen. $295 for the Audi rings, $200 for the all-weather floor liners, $1,295 for the destination, totaling us out at $46,535. Still a very good value vehicle considering what we get, but we're starting to get pretty close to S3 territory, so I'd almost recommend going for a base S3 over this unless you really need all these options and features. It's still an unbelievably loaded vehicle for the money. You can pause, take a look at all the standard features on the left side, and the fuel economy, 24 in the city, 34 on the highway. Anyway, continuing along, the steering wheel is thick, solid 10 and 2, 9.3 feels really good in your hands, and the steering feel feels very good on center. Rubberized horn area, the horn, loud and aggressive, people should be definitely getting out of your way. We didn't get dual panes on the S3, and we don't get them here on the A3, to be expected. You get your adjustments for the infotainment screen, which is upgraded. The standard infotainment would be the 10.25-inch. Here we have the 12-inch with the date and time, consumption, short-term memory, long-term memory, driver assistance, traffic signs. You press this V button to adjust different overall views. Pretty cool. Mileage underneath, temperature outside with the clock right next to it. The tach goes to about 6,200 RPM with a 160-mile-an-hour speedometer. The stocks have a very satisfying click, auto headlamps, auto high beams, and auto rain sensing wipers, all appreciated touches. Cruise control adjustments with a distance control, auto headlamps, front and rear fog lights, a little bit of extra storage, perfect for an ashtray if you're a smoker and that's what you're into. Hopefully you get a good look at the pedals. We get new aluminum rings outside of the air vent controls. That's new for 2025. Soft touch for the entire dashboard with stitching on the passenger side. The 10.1-inch infotainment screen with haptic feedback. When you press the buttons on or the touch sensors on the screen, you get a slight vibration. And with the tech package, we get the navigation system, which is a 3D Google Maps display with a Google Earth view. That is a really premium touch. I'm sure it was available on the S3 we just reviewed in this channel, but I didn't do this through the settings. It's actually really cool that Google allows you to have this type of screen in the navigation screen. Anyway, our home screen includes our voice commands, our overall settings, navigation, Alexa, song that's currently playing. You can see your radio, media, online media, phone, navigation, phone apps, vehicle, and store. We have themes, Alexa, settings, legal notes, help, users, messages, and notes. Vehicle settings, let's see what we get. Audi Drive Select, seats, air conditioning, light and visibility, parking aid, driver assistance, settings, and favorites. The drive mode selector, we have comfort, auto, dynamic, and individual. We'll start the review off in dynamic, try out comfort, and just see what the differences are. We have our hard button for the drive mode selector down below. We have dual zone automatic climate control with a separate adjuster out rear. It's not a digital third zone climate control, but you can adjust the temperature with a dial. We'll check that out when we take a step out back. But dual zone climate up front, heated seats, no ventilated seats. Would be nice to get on the Premium Plus package. Traction control, auto engine start stop, hazards, parking camera, park assist, and our driving assist buttons all down below. 2 USB-C ports, wireless phone charging pad, engine start stop, gear selector for the 7-speed dual clutch transmission. Backup camera, super high resolution, guidance lines and trajectory with front and rear parking sensing with side sensors, also allowing for guidance lines and trajectory with our self-parking mode. Throwing right back into park. We also have a volume and skip control, really convenient location for the driver and the front passenger. Just hard plastic for your knee will often hit. Electronic parking brake, 12-volt, nice area for a key. You'll fit 24 to 32 ounce bottles in those cup holders. Same armrest as the S3, decently soft leather. You can open it up. Not the most spacious, but you'll fit 3, possibly 4 12-ounce cans. The center, or glove box, that was the center console. The glove box itself is lined felt, nice premium touch, and massive. Just like in the S3, I'd expect you to fit 30 license plates, 2 to 3 pairs of shoes, with wood grain finish outside of this Quattro logo, more aluminum outside of the air vents. Frameless auto-dimming rear view mirror with a compass, 3 garage home link settings on it, touch-sensitive LED interior lights. You also have hard buttons for when the door opens and closes. We can open up this moonroof. The shade opens up manually. It doesn't open up with the glass, but we'll open it up manually. Just like on the S3, towards the end of the front row, see if it goes any further. It does not, but pretty large opening. We poke our way out of here, sunny and 67 degrees according to this 2025 A3, which is interesting because the S3 we just reviewed said it was 79 degrees. Not a lot of consistency. I'm sure it'll change though when we take it out for a drive. We can shut this glass right up. We'll leave the shade open so when we hop out back, you guys can see how much light is brought into the cabin. But that's about it for the front seat, at least, of this 2025 Audi A3. We already checked out the window sticker, so we're not going to look at that again. Hopefully you were able to pause and take a look at everything that's available on this A3. But out back, up top, just like on the S3, we get hard plastic with some pretty premium feeling graining, aluminum beneath it with some illumination. We get an aluminum door handle and a faux aluminum grab handle. Auto one touch window, nice soft leather armrest, and 2 Sonos speakers on the door panel. The second row seats, the padding goes all the way out the door frame, so nice and couch-like with that leather with white contrast stitching continuing. It is a subcompact sedan, so don't expect 8 levels of overall legroom in the back seat, but at over 6 feet tall, I still should have a couple inches of knee room and plenty of room for my head. So about 1.5 inches, 2 inches of knee room, headroom, about 1 inch, 1.5 inches. So no, it's not the most comfortable and luxurious back seat, but at over 6 feet tall, I can comfortably sit back here. If you're under 6'3", 6'4", you should be perfectly fine in the back seat of an A3. And comparing to most other subcompacts in the segment, that's just simply not the case. Yes, you'll be more comfortable in the A4, but to have this level of luxury and equipment on the A4, you're gonna be paying at least $10,000, $15,000 more, while really still not having that big of a back seat. We have air vents with our temperature adjuster underneath it, 2 USB-C ports, cargo nets behind both of the front seats. The center cubby, we can jab our hand in there and poke it out. Nice little leather area outside of these pretty spacious cup holders. You'll fit 24, maybe 32-ounce bottles with plenty of space for your arm outside of it. The interior lights back here are LED, and that's about it for the second row of the 2025 A3. Let's take a step out in the cargo space, see how much space is offered back there, and then take this 2025 A3 out for a drive. So just like on the S3, we have a hydraulic chute. It's not electric, so it doesn't close for you, but it's nice that it has this self-opening function. I'll leave a link right here, show you exactly how much cargo space is back here. Same as the S3, the wheel wells don't protrude a lot. The seats fold down 40, 40, 20. You fold them down, I'd expect you to fit a 65, 70-inch TV. Very solid for a subcompact. Secret storage, let's see what we get. Spare tire, the S3 did not get a spare tire. You still get a little bit of storage space outside of it over here. That's about it though, guys, for the inside and outside of this all-new 2025 Audi A3 Quattro with the Premium Plus package. It is a really nice vehicle inside and out, standard all-wheel drive, powerful turbocharged 4-cylinder, and a base price well under 40,000 bucks. This is basically fully loaded, but considering the sub $40,000 base price, it really quite easily could be the best premium sedan out on the road for the money. Performance-wise, with 15 more pound-feet compared to the previous model year, let's take this 2025 Audi A3 Premium Plus out for a drive and see what it's got. All right, guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2025 Audi A3. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions, when you let off the brake pedal, there's a pretty significant initial movement with this DCT. You don't really feel much engagement. I don't know if the idle is a little bit high, but it definitely feels like it gets going pretty quickly as soon as you let your foot off the brake pedal. Throttle response in dynamic mode feels sharp. It almost feels sharper in dynamic here than it did in the S3. The S3 is a way faster car, but the tuning here feels a little bit more aggressive in dynamic. There we go. This is like a third throttle. In dynamic, it shoots us to past 5,000 RPM. It's a quick car. Steering feels good in dynamic, not quite as sharp as the S3 to be expected. A little bit more body roll even with the sport tuned suspension, but it's nimble. I wish I didn't drive the S3 first, because I would probably think that this thing is on rails if I didn't drive the S3 before this. But as great as the S3 was, this is right up there. Not 100% up there, but it's 90% up there. Whew. Nimble, even with the all seasons, it grips. I'm not pushing it super hard, but it's gripping really good even with the all season tires. Let's go. Oh, sure, it's not as fast as the S, but it's not a slow car by any means. All right, guys, off the line, on the gas, boost. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely no S3, but for 99% of driving conditions, it feels surprisingly close. Downshifts are aggressive. Yeah, no need to beat it up any further, but hopefully you can pick up the performance here. Surprisingly good. The all-wheel drive system is grippy. The steering feels good in dynamic. We'll rip it through dynamic one more time. Not too aggressively, but just to show you guys how good of a performer this can be in the dynamic mode. And we'll check it out in comfort, of course, and just see what the differences are. Yeah. One more time. Whew. Really nimble. We can take it out of dynamic mode. Hopefully you guys pick it up on camera just how much fun this car really is. But comfort mode, we immediately downshift the transmission. The throttle is way less sensitive. So I was saying how in dynamic it felt just as sensitive, if not more sensitive than the S3. Not in comfort mode. In comfort mode, it numbs the throttle down noticeably. If this was my car, I'd probably leave it in individual mode and have everything set to comfort except for the engine, because I think I prefer the way that this power plant feels in dynamic mode, for at least for the engine aspect of it. But overall, guys, if you're looking for a luxury sedan, this is a genuinely comfortable vehicle to drive. With the sport suspension, it still absorbs the bumps fantastically well, and with the sport suspension, it becomes surprisingly close to the S3 in all of the good ways. Yes, it's almost as nimble, it's almost as responsive, but it's a lot better of a ride. You run over these manhole covers, you run over these reflectors in the center of the road, and it's like they're not even there. It feels like a better ride quality than the S3. It's not as good of a handler as the S3. Hopefully you don't expect it to be. But for about $10,000 of base price savings, you're still getting a really strong power plant here. So if you don't need to do 0 to 60 in 4.2, 4.3 seconds, you're more than happy getting there in like 5.8, 5.9. The all-wheel drive is your priority, and the sub $40,000 to $45,000 price point is your priority. This is your car. If you're okay with loading it up to 46, 47, 48 grand, yes, you're driving a fully loaded A3, don't get me wrong, but now you're stepping into S3 territory. That's what I was saying with the fully loaded S3 that we just reviewed in this channel. Yes, for 48 grand, that's an unbelievable car. Can't beat that in terms of value. But when you load it up to 58 grand, you're starting to approach RS3 territory, and that's what we're doing here. It's an unbelievable car, but we are approaching S3 territory with $46,000 after destination. The S3's $48,700 before destination. So yes, we are still talking about $4,000 or $5,000 of savings here, but I would still recommend keeping this a little bit closer to the base, because even as loaded as this car is, we still don't have ventilated seats, among other couple options and features. So I would save a couple $1,000 if possible here. I wouldn't recommend loading it up like this, but for between $40,000 to $45,000 after destination, I think that this is easily the best value premium performance sedan out on the road today. And if you're looking for a nice car that is quick and loaded with features, I would 1000% recommend checking out the 2025 Audi A3. And a big thanks to Andre and the rest of the management and staff here at Audi of Wesley Chapel for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to your inventory below, and if you're looking for a new premium car or SUV in the Wesley Chapel, Tampa Bay area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out. And as for Andre, and a huge thanks to all you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too, it really helps me out, the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.